Creating and modifying type. You're going to do something a little different. You're going to create this without opening a photograph, which will, remembering how to do this will come in handy later when I have you do a little bit of web design. So it's good to remember at least this was here if you forgot how to do it. But we're going to go to File. We're going to go to File, and where am I? New. And we get this completely brand new file dialog box here. And mine's already set right because I practiced this. But when I first did it, the 5x7 seems to be a default. If it's not, you need to set the width to 7, height to 5, and if it needs to be changed, change the resolution to 200 pixels per inch, and RGB color. And you get this kind of lengthy thing here, RGB color, and white background, and create color profile. I don't remember what the default is on this, but we want, and this is a bit longer, this Adobe RGB 1998, and square pixels, of course, or you get really weird looking stuff. Alright, I'm going to start by selecting the horizontal type tool. And I see that I need a different workspace because halfway through the semester you're going to want to make a horizontal type mask. And I will show you how to do that and change this so that that shows up. But right now we're just going to go with this. I'm going to click here and I get, let's turn that spotlight off. This, which courtesy of any Adobe product is their phony Latin, that I'm going to just type in type tool, and you can see that it made a new layer. So I want to make sure that all the stuff I do, that this layer is the one that's highlighted, not the background layer. The first thing we're going to do is change to a different typeface, and up here in the options bar right across the top, we get, all the options, or most of them, associated with that particular tool. And so I'm going to change to Myriad Pro, which is kind of Adobe's fake Helvetica. And I've got that selected here. I can change to the Move tool and click on this and move it around wherever I want it, which is kind of handy. But I'm going to go back to the type tool and click on to make sure, or at least so that my type layer is selected, and go over here to, in case you can't see it, let's spotlight it, this FX. These are layer styles, and they are kind of clever as well. I'm going to click on that and get drop shadow, and I get this dialog box. And looks like I've already got a drop shadow applied, but I want to go down and make sure I check drop shadow if it's not already checked. Blending mode normal. We'll do some things with blending modes later in the semester. It's how you put decals on something where it looks like you can see through the decal, things like that. Set the opacity to 50%, because that's what it says in the directions. When I'm doing it on photos, I usually run the slider down to below 30 to make it look a little bit more realistic. But we're going to stick with 50 or thereabouts. And right now it looks like the light source is directly above it. But I can change that. I can rotate this over to look like it's coming down from the right side. And distance is, makes it look farther off the background. Spread is one of the most poorly named things. It kind of makes it bigger. It also gets a little sharper. I rarely touch this thing. Size, same way. It is a tool for kind of how sharply focused it is. And if I want to do some other things, which we don't down here. But I've got my layer style applied. That's okay. Now you can experiment with several other layer style options and click OK. And the last thing is we're going to create warp text. So with the type tool still active, we'll go up and there it is. And style none. I want an arc. And it just automatically does it because the type is selected, or type layer is selected. You don't have to select the type. And we can play with the bend. I'd like it bent just a little bit. But I can, if I've got some kind of decal, logo, whatever I'm creating, I can get this to kind of wrap around it. There are better ways to do it in other software, but Photoshop will let you do this. Click OK. Save it as E9, and we'll go on to E10.